Let's make your job easy.
While the 27-point opening round victory was a perfect way to kick off season 2020, the dark realisation soon set in for the AFL community as the league prepares for an immediate shutdown lasting until at least May 31. Welcome to a brand new season of Eagle Review, proudly brought to you by, of course, Kennards Hire. Great to have them back, and sounds like we're going to be spending a fair bit of time at home soon. For those household jobs you've been putting off, being slack, you'll need the right equipment. Head to kennards.com.au. Get yourself sorted. A new season, albeit the most bizarre one in 100 years, is finally upon us. But I guess there are some new faces to the panel that we need to introduce. Steve Thumper Bandy back for his 11th consecutive season. No applause necessary. Ben Roberts says adios and welcome to this bloke. 0 games AFL experience. It's not good. You past journo, big cross. Has some American kicking, punting experience. When's that going to come in handy? Please welcome Tyson Beattie to the program.
Thank you, Steve. It's a pleasure to be.
I wouldn't get too excited, mate, because I haven't seen any tapes. No one knows what he can do. I mean, you told me about it when we walked into the studio.
Well, I will actually be your 6th co-host, I believe, in the history of the Eagle Review. If you include Luke Shuey, of course, which I'm sure you probably do. But you've been the common denominator on this show, so perhaps it's you that's the reason why this show hasn't had mainstream success so far.
What happened to Scully? I thought we were going to get Scully on board. No?
Next year, maybe, or the year after.
So I guess while I've got no one else here with any AFL experience, why don't you run me through your recollections of Sunday's game?
Thank you, Thumper. Well, the players knew going in this was going to be their last game for at least 70 days. Pretty extraordinary. Gillon McLachlan's press conference happened at about 2 o'clock, which was when the players were warming up. Simo said he was unsure about whether to tell the group. He consulted the leaders. The players were told. And it must have been a strange thing for the players to know that this would be their one and only game for a very long time. May 31, 10 weeks at least. But you have to give it to all of the players, tremendous credit for cracking in, putting on a show for the fans at home and bringing just a little bit of enjoyment to the 90,000 members and 800,000 West Coast fans around the country. And from us to you, we hope you're well, and we'll do our best to bring you all the updates from the club over the coming weeks and months. Now, let's have a look at some of the hard facts before we look at the game. The club will send the players away on Tuesday. They'll have remote programs for 30 days, and no doubt this will be incredibly tough to coordinate. But as I said, we'll bring you all the latest from the updates around the club as we move forward.
Yeah, I don't know how the gym program's going to go. You got a door, you got a gym.
Gym is a gym.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought. Anyway, masterclass in the first quarter from the boys. A whopping 5 goals to donuts. And the last time Melbourne had a goalless quarter, wasn't the 2018 prelim by any chance, was it? Got that on loop on the household as we speak, but that was 32-3, eerily similar.
Yeah, absolutely. We took the opportunities early. Melbourne didn't. When it was up for grabs, the Eagles mids and forwards executed. Melbourne actually had 10 more inside 50s, Thumper, but 36% efficiency compared to 51%. That's extraordinary. Despite being beaten by 25 in the contested possession, West Coast controlled the footy. Uncontested marks, 114-73.
Yeah, they were happy to whip it round, that's for sure.
The ball movement was fantastic, a real feature. One area the D's did win was the free kick count, 11-9. Maybe that noise of affirmation is more truth than myth.
Oh, geez, you're cracking it wide open here, Tyson Beattie. Let's go with Nick Natanui. Great to see the big fella out there on the park with a full pre-season under his belt. 23 hit-outs, 13 disposals, 10 contested and 6 clearances. Just the extra mid running around there really had the better of Maxi Gawn. Andrew Gaff had it 30 times in reduced game time. Could you believe it? And I'll tell you why, because he was the 5th highest Eagle for time on ground. 88% he played. Jack Darling 100. That's just hungry from Jack, but don't mind it, I guess. Tim Kelly, first game in West Coast Eagles colours. I don't think that's quite the debut scenario he envisaged in the yellow and blue.
You talk about the 60,000 fans that were going to be thrilled to see him come out for that first game.
Maybe just put some headphones on. It was like, this is what it's meant to sound like, but be quiet for him.
But despite that, he looked pretty at home in the blue and gold. 19 touches and a goal, 16 CBD appearances out of a possible 23. Shuey had 27 disposals and 5 clearances. His first run as a skipper, and of course he won his first home game as captain, which no captain has ever lost their first home game for the Eagles.
Right.
Yeah, so that mocker didn't work for him. Flying Ryan was also impressive. A game-high 9 score involvements, 3 marks inside 50. Only multiple for the Eagles to do that, and 3 goals. And the defenders were solid all
Yeah,
day.
they were solid. 10 intercept grabs from the 6, or let's call it 7 defenders on the day. 21 rebounds, 50. So, Melbourne were flying it in, but it was just coming out at absolute pace. Lewis Jetta, I want to make special mention, 425 metres gained. So he was doing it with his legs, but using it 89%. That's sensational and very damaging for West Coast. But the spoiling, the constant bringing the ball to ground, making a contest every time. Barris was superb in that department. He used it at 75% and no other defender got below that. So we really were using it with precision. Don't know about his drop mark though. I thought he was going to take one of the marks of his career, and I reckon the crowd at 20 would have gone off its collective face had he brought that one in. Not to be, but I'm going to mention our player of the day, in my opinion, involved Brendan Archie, who had himself quite a game at Optus Stadium, took his opportunity, kicked a couple of goals in about 2 minutes, I reckon it was. So this one started here. Jack Darling, have a look at this, just handballs to himself, the big slap along the deck, heads to Archie. Now, not many people know, one of the best handballers in the AFL, most particularly for distance, and with his opposite hand, just sets up Liam Ryan with a perler.
Bit like Polly Farmer, great big left-handed hand pass and a great goal as well. But I like this one even better. This was the best clearance of the day. Have a look at this one. Nick Natanui palms this one to himself and sends it downfield, a little bit like Carl the mailman Malone, or maybe Shaq Daddy, whoever your favourite ball player is. Take a look at this Dom Sheed over the head handball and finish from Brendan Archie, who snapped it up. That was a brilliant set of play.
It was remarkable from Sheed to know he was back there as well. But big opportunity for Archie. I mean, you got to think about it. The absence of Rioli plays a part here. They've gone without Waterman. He had a solid pre-season and Marsh Cup games and was quality last year when given opportunity. They're rolling with Petch and Archie for the minute. And you've got to think you can't move him for the foreseeable if you weren't about to have 2 months off.
No, of course. I mean, Archie has now set himself up for a real crack at making the squad permanently. In fact, his debut, or his game yesterday, is much like my debut effort here today, hopefully.
Yeah, I can't see you getting another recall. But let's go, of course, to the Kennards roast of the round. Great to have him back, and something that I'm sure as a fan you've been watching on and admiring for many years. But
Definitely.
Don't let the moment get to you. We'll start with the coin toss. Have a look at what they're throwing the coin up in. Now, that's just povo. I mean, you've had a month to maybe get a little sheath wrapped around the coin, but you've just taken that as someone's basketball card selection.
I'm sure that's not a disinfected either.
No, I don't rate that anyway. But anyway, Jake Melksham, let's hope he's not spending the off-season watching more WWE because that's just a solid
Stone Cold Steve Austin like that.
Well, it's a clothesline coming off the ropes, and Liam Ryan, I think he's collected his head off of Optus Stadium
Did he
deck.
do that just a little bit?
Nah, not at all. He wouldn't do that. Well, Liam Ryan's in the next one too. How have he and Petch not been done here? Now, they are hugging this ball. They are getting quite romantic with this footy, and the Demons are like, are these too serious right now? How is that not a free kick?
Actually, should have been like a joint holding the ball decision, but anyway.
Ping both of them, you reckon?
That's right.
That's harsh.
Well, what about this one? Neville Jetta. He is a handy player, isn't he?
Yeah, he's quality.
Very, very quality player. Was all Australian. Have a look at this. Handballs straight to Sheed. Now, either Sheed's called for that or he's colourblind.
Or collusion, perhaps.
Collusion, potentially, yeah. What about this next one? Gov, he loves an appeal, doesn't he? An appeal for holding the ball.
Too much
Now, look at
cricket
this,
for
look at
Gov.
this. Look at this. He's got his hand up. He wants this holding the ball pretty close. How about where the ball is? Bull and snap goal.
Gov, too much appealing for that one, big fella. Let's go back to Andrew Gaff. More running with the flight now. I praised him before, but he's got to stop doing that. You're not going to get 30 a day. You keep doing that, Andrew, because he's going to wind up in Ward 4 with a broken body. He hasn't got the rig. Us wingers don't have the rigs for that kind of behaviour. Have a look at this one. Brad Shepherd in the back line. So gets a good fist on this one, but sends it straight to Shannon Hurd's scone. Some would say it's a fair upgrade to the skipper with that ball to the head, but that's harsh. You can't say that about Shannon Hurd, and I say that's a bit rude.
Fair enough.
Throwing that out there, yeah.
Tough falcon to the head. What about this Brendan Archie attempted a marker? He had a great game, but this is not a highlight. Like, he's missed everything there. Some people might cook him for that, but have a look at this attempt from last year. You can understand why he went for that.
Oh! What a mark from Archie!
Familiar commentary there, by the way.
Well, sadly, that's all they could afford on the day. Why don't we fast forward to Jared Brander? Played his first win in 4 contests for the Eagles. He shared the circle with teammate Tom Hickey. Congratulations, 100 games for Big Tom. But this moment here, not his finest in the milestone performance. He's encroached the mark, and it's not like you can't blame. I can't hear you, umpire. There's 10 people in the crowd. Big Tom got a bit confused there, but I still liked his backup performance. He also shared the circle with Tim Kelly, obviously playing in his first game for West Coast. Now, Tim Kelly's first goal, marvellous performance, and this was certainly a highlight of the day. But Jack Darling just tried to strip him all of it because He only had one goal for the game, Jack, but he definitely wanted more there, the big fella.
A little bit hungry, no doubt about that one.
Great ambassador for our Hungry Jacks then, it must be said.
Which we'll talk about a little bit later.
A little bit too hungry, yes.
What about Jamie Cripps? He's an excellent kick inside 50 normally, and he is here, although is he?
Oh, Petch.
Did he mean that?
No chance.
Look at
Petch
this.
knew that was coming.
His eyes are well and truly looking at the goal. He's gone outside of the boot straight to Petch, and he finished that off with a goal.
One's going to beat that, though, surely.
Well, this one could beat that. Have a look at this one. Jeddah with a fantastic little steal from this handball from Brayshaw, and he shrugs a tackle and bangs it up. What the hell is that? Look at the skid.
Absolute mongrel, that.
Footy God's shining on you when that's happening on a regular basis, isn't it?
Oh, when you're one of the best kicks in the AFL, you can kind of get away with some of the stuff like
Now,
that.
Have a look at this. Have a look at this. Have a look at the Whopper celebration between Jets and JK. Now, JK, as we know, a big star of the Hungry Jacks Whopper commercials. I'm sure they'll be enjoying that on Whopper Wednesday coming up.
Yes, marketing department's raging as we speak. Let's go around the grounds as we do here on the roast, and we're going to go to the Richmond-Carlton game on the Thursday night. Now, one thing the AFL didn't think about is minimising the crowd. Well, how are they going to get the balls back? Are you going to? Is this Camo picking up 2 checks on the day? Because he's left his post. How many jobs do you want this punter to do? Go and fetch pills for the day.
They had one at both ends, but they're not going to have one to the outside. If you kick it out of bounds to the full, you've got to go and get it yourself.
No, that's a fair point as well. Now let's go to Etihad Stadium. This is the Dockers v Essendon, and Cam Mooney in the crowd watching on.
Horrible for forwards. They couldn't get the ball back inside their forward 50. But you're right, it was a beautiful lead. And just to the left here, unfortunately, there, Eddie. But finally.
Well, no, that's to your left, Cam. Now, not to the millions watching at home or the people out on the grounds. It's not just all about you in the stands, all right, mate? Just open your mind a little bit, and that's a roast.
It's a bit harsh, but fair enough.
And spare a thought for Yowie. How's this? Courtesy of Useless AFL Stats, great Facebook page. He's conceded all of the team's free kick count at three-quarter time. That's 6 free kicks. He gave away another one in the fourth quarter. That is 7 straight. No team has had a player give away 7 straight free kicks. Oh, that's an unfortunate roast, Yowie.
What about this one? It's Thursday night at the MCG. It's a bit weird to see these seagulls perfectly spaced out, but I have to ask you, Thumper, is that social distancing perfectly measured?
I think the HR department of the pigeon community has done the right thing and they're adhering to the message, so well done.
Now, Thumper, are you allowing me to award the roast of the round for the first time in my debate?
You asked for it, so don't pretend like I'm awarding you anything, but go ahead.
It's very, very exciting. So we've got 2 here. Tom Papley. Now, great goal, dribble goal, runs around, decides to, oh no, there's no one there. But very inventive. Not bad. What about Rory Sloane? Great player. Love Rory Sloane.
Sensational player.
Sensational player. Now, he's getting chaired off to a standing ovation of no one.
For a loss.
After a 33-point loss.
Not great there.
Roast of the round, Rory Sloane.